Have you ever noticed that sometimes you don't actually want to feel better? You play the sad songs again. You replay painful memories. You isolate yourself. And even when happiness tries to enter your life, a part of you quietly pulls away from it. It sounds strange, but some people become emotionally attached to sadness, not because they enjoy pain, but because sadness starts feeling familiar, comfortable, even safe. And once your brain connects sadness with emotional safety, happiness can start feeling unfamiliar instead. Most people think sadness is just an emotion, something temporary. But psychology shows that emotions can slowly become identities. And the longer someone lives in emotional pain, the more their brain adapts to it. Eventually, sadness stops feeling like a visitor. It starts feeling like home. That's why some people feel strangely uncomfortable when life becomes too peaceful. Because chaos, pain, and emotional heaviness have become psychologically familiar. Your brain has one main job: to keep you emotionally predictable. Not necessarily happy, predictable. And this is where things get disturbing. If someone grows up around stress, emotional neglect, disappointment, or constant emotional instability,
The brain starts treating those emotions as normal. This is sometimes connected to something psychologists call emotional conditioning. Your nervous system becomes trained to recognize sadness as a familiar emotional environment. So later in life, peace can feel empty, and happiness can even feel suspicious because your brain trusts what it already knows, even when it hurts. But there's another reason some people secretly stay attached to sadness. Sadness can make people feel emotionally alive. It creates intensity, depth, reflection, and sometimes it even becomes part of a person's identity. Some people don't know who they are without their pain. The sadness becomes their comfort zone, their personality, the soundtrack of their inner world. That's why they replay sad music at night, revisit old memories, or romanticize emotional suffering. Because deep down, the sadness feels emotionally meaningful. And this is where it becomes dangerous. Some people become so emotionally used to sadness that happiness starts triggering anxiety because happiness feels temporary, unstable, too good to trust. So the brain unconsciously returns to sadness because sadness feels emotionally safer than uncertainty. This is why some people sabotage good relationships, push away healthy situations, or emotionally withdraw the moment life starts improving. Not because they want pain, but because their nervous system has learned to survive inside it. People who stay emotionally attached to sadness are often not weak. In fact, many of them are deeply emotional people who learn to survive by living inside their inner world. The sadness became a shield, a routine, a familiar emotional language. And over time, they stopped asking, "How do I heal?" and started asking, "Who would I be without this sadness?" But healing doesn't always feel peaceful immediately. Sometimes healing feels unfamiliar, quiet, empty, even uncomfortable, because your brain is learning a completely new emotional environment, and that takes time. But just because sadness became familiar doesn't mean it was meant to become your home forever. If this video felt strangely personal, you're probably someone who experiences emotions much deeper than most people realize. Comment below. Do you think sadness can become addictive? And if you've ever wondered why your mind keeps replaying painful memories over and over again, you need to watch the next video because your brain may be emotionally attached to the past in ways you don't even notice. Subscribe to Psychology Explained, and I'll see you in the next one.